Hello again, and today we are talking about Haggai, and the author we found out in chapter 1 verse 1 is Haggai. We actually have an exact date on Haggai because it talks about in the second year of Darius the king in chapter 1 verse 1, after it identifies it being written by Haggai. It says in the second year of Darius the king. Well, we can verify that with Persian records and find out that's actually 520 BC. So we know the exact date of this one. There is no date range. It's just the exact date of 520 BC. Well, the key theme about this is that those who are returning from exile, remember the Jews were exiled from the Promised Land, and those who are returning need to rebuild God's temple. So one of the three post-exilic, which means post-exile prophets, Haggai is going to encourage those who were captives from Babylon, who were taken into Babylonian captivity, to restore this temple that was ruined, it was demolished, it was broken down in Jerusalem. The new world power, who is Persia, obviously this was with Darius the king, has allowed the people to return to Jerusalem, but they've become distracted with making sure that their homes are comfortable and all those different things. Now, is there anything wrong with having a comfortable home? Well, no. But the problem here is going to be their priorities. And so God uses Haggai to tell them that to stop making their homes super comfortable. We're not talking about like they didn't have a bed and God saying stop, rebuild the temple first. He's talking about when they're building on and onto their houses instead of rebuilding the temple. And so he's commanding them through Haggai to rebuild the temple excuse me, in order to stop a drought that's affecting the countryside. And one of the quotable verses is chapter 2 verse 4. It says, "Be strong, all ye people of the land, says the Lord, and work, for I am with you, says the Lord of hosts." One of the unique things or unusual things about this book is Haggai seems in chapter 2 verses 6 and 7 to kind of hint towards the end times. It uses some of the same references, but it talks about how he will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the land, and he'll shake all the nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. So he kind of hints towards that. That's one of the unique things about the book. But what's the big idea about the book? What do we walk away from saying after I've read Haggai, this is what I want to apply to my life? Is that priorities are important. Okay, there was nothing wrong with their homes. There was nothing wrong with them making their homes comfortable. But what happened was their homes became a god to them, and they were building more of their homes and making sure that their homes were nicer instead of rebuilding the temple of God. It is a picture of the fact that we a lot of times will make sure that we have what we want, instead of prioritizing God and giving him the priority and saying, I'll do whatever it is that you would have me to do. The teen of the day today is Mitchell Chambers. Pray for him. He's been having some panic attacks whenever he's left the house, and medication wasn't working the last time I checked in with him. So just pray for him that he could get a hold of these things, that the medication would help, and he'll be able to have a good week at school this week as he finishes up and he graduates. So just make sure you pray for him.